Hi world, it's January the 31st, 2020. It's about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And this is my astrological global forecast for February of this year. I did a video this morning on the coronavirus and the astrological implications and indications of it. And firstly, thank you to everyone who's commented on this. I'm really positively surprised and encouraged by how much positive comments there's been around the value of homeopathy. I'm well aware that homeopathy is a very controversial practice, and it's something that you either love or you hate. There's no middle ground. It's very Marmite. I know it works for me. I have a really good homeopath, or I have the services of a good homeopath when I need one. So I can't be objective about this, but anyway, I'm really pleasantly surprised. So thank you, world. Also, this has been a subject for long enough, so I'm just going to put this one to bed now. I really appreciate the comments about my jumpers. I'm in my mid-60s. I'm very fortunate. My mother is still alive. My mum makes all my jumpers. I'm a typical Cancer boy. My mum. Okay? Right, enough. Now, February 2020. In this last few months, in this last couple of months, world's got a lot crazier, hell of a lot crazier. Impeachment in America, or not. Brexit, Iran, virus. It's not getting any easier out there, is it? It's getting crazier. Now, in this coming month, there's one there's two big astrological changes coming up. We'll come to these in a minute. Let's get the basics out of the way. There's a full moon in Leo on the 9th of February at 20 degrees of Leo. It's healthy. It's not touching hardly anything or anyone. It's loosely trining Mars. Nice energy, particularly good for people born around the 11th of August, 12th of August. The new moon on the 23rd of February is at 4 degrees of Pisces, which is actually 0 degrees of Aries in the sidereal zodiac. But I don't do sidereal, I only do tropical. But for those Yotish or sidereal astrologers out there, that new moon on the 23rd of February is actually really important. It's very strongly sextile Uranus, and that's rather nice. But that's overshadowed by what is going on in the background. In the background, there's two big things happening in February, maybe three, that bear significant looking at. Firstly, in terms of aspect, the overriding aspect of February is that Jupiter in the sky is moving into a sextile pattern with Neptune. Now, this is something which is going to then continue for the next 8 months. And Jupiter sextile Neptune is the most positive thing that's happening in 2020. Jupiter operating from Capricorn is going to be bringing growth and expansion into the way we restructure our world. It's going to be bringing a bit of optimism and hope into the idea of government. Someone gave me a wonderful terminology yesterday. You know who you are. I'm not going to mention you by name, but the idea of hopium, a mixture of hope and opium. And to all those people out there who say, oh, the world's wonderful and we've all just got to sort of, isn't it lovely and it's all going to be okay and this is like opium for the masses. No, it's not, but we can all affect the world we're in by smiling and doing our best to make it better, whilst at the same time dealing with it the way it really is, rather than pretending that everything's okay when it's not. With Jupiter in Capricorn sextiling Neptune, the window of opportunity of the sextile. From Jupiter, growth in structure in Capricorn, to Neptune in Pisces, the idea of opening up to a more quasi-spiritual reality, at the same time bringing in a greater element of compassion, empathy, intuition, artistry. Nice, I like this. It's going to bring a sense of more altruism into the world to a small extent. Enough to notice, however. Much more significantly, in the middle of February, two very significant events happen very, very close to each other, within about 13 hours of each other. On the 16th of February at 11:30 a.m. UK time, Mars will move into Capricorn, where it will then stay for 6 weeks. So for 6 weeks, from the middle of February to the end of March, Mars is going to be in Capricorn along with Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, although Saturn will leave at the end of March when it nips into Aquarius for 3 months. So for a 5-week period, we will have Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto and Mars all in the same sign. There will also be a 2 to 3 day period in the middle of February over the period of about 10 a.m. in the morning UK time on the 18th of February through to perhaps 8 p.m. in the evening on the 20th of February, so 2.25 day period, when the moon will be in Capricorn as well. So that 18th, 19th, 20th period, there'll be 5 planets in Capricorn. So for everyone here, look at your own chart, look at where Capricorn is in your chart, and look at what house it's in. And particularly this period of the 18th to the 20th is an excellent time for being incisive, direct, dynamic, projective, assertive, making things happen. But over the whole of the second half of February and all of March, whatever part in your chart Capricorn fulfills, with 4 planets in that one sign, it's a time for being much more dynamic and projective with confidence. But it's also much more complicated than this. As I say, Mars moves into Capricorn just before midday UK time on the 16th. But 12 hours later, Mercury goes retrograde. Now, the Mercury retrograde shadow will start on the 2nd of February, the day after tomorrow. Mercury will go retrograde on the 12th of February and it will stop going retrograde on the 10th of March. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Mercury will go retrograde on the 17th of February and stop going retrograde on the 10th of March. So it's only going to be retrograde for 22 days, which is a short period of time for a Mercury retrograde. And it's going to be retrograde over the first 12 degrees of Pisces and the last 2 or 3 degrees of Aquarius. And this isn't impacting on any other planet in the sky apart from sextiling Mars in Capricorn and sextiling Uranus in Taurus, both of which I consider to be healthy aspects. So this is not a difficult Mercury retrograde for the world, but standard Mercury retrograde rules apply. There's going to be confusion, weirdness, uncertainty, emails will get lost, phone calls will get missed, trains will be delayed, flights will get delayed. Well, if you're travelling at this time, if you're travelling over the whole of February or early March, factor in some wriggle room. And if the Mercury retrograde doesn't seem to be giving you any grief, then you can be sure it's going to be giving your friends or your family or your colleagues or your neighbours some grief. So classic Mercury retrograde rules apply here. Not a lot is going to change between early February and mid-March. As I said this morning, the full moon at the start of the second week of March opposite Neptune is particularly significant in terms of Neptunian energy and virus stuff. And after this time, then I hope that things will begin to calm down, although it is around mid-March that Mars really begins to bite in terms of its conjunction with Jupiter and Pluto, but we'll deal with that next month. February is the final jockeying for position of a lot of planets in readiness for March, which is going to be very much a time of direct action. And I can't help but feel that events of earlier, I think it was early this year, may have been at the very end of last year in the Islamic world, the taking out of that Iranian general, there's going to be further developments on this. as we get into mid-March, but we're going to see the jockeying for position for this during February. The world's going to be going a little bit crazy in the coming few weeks because everyone's going to be panicking around viruses, but that suits a lot of people to have the world in panic. It suits a lot of people to have everyone staying indoors and not getting out there into the world. So, as long as you're eating healthy, as long as you're staying healthy, you've got a good immune system, you're drinking lots of water, you're not eating loads of junk food, then you ain't got too much to worry about. February's one of those months where, to be honest, it's not a lot going on. It's just moving the final building blocks into position. Although there will be a concentrated period of time between the 16th and the 21st of February, 17th to the 21st, 16th to the 20th, 16th to the 21st, 4 or 5 days. This is going to see a lot of sudden changes. But this is the only period in February where there's going to be lots of things going on. So look at that area in Capricorn. Look at Capricorn in your own personal chart. Work out where it is. Work out how to make best use of it. And be proactive in a moderate and disciplined way. Catch you later, world. Bye.